I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her. And I told, like, I was within 36 hours, I was like, look, this is going to sound like a lot, and I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to marry you.
Really? Is this how it works now? Hi, my name is Landon. Nice to meet you. I'm in love with you and I want to marry you. Here are 750 flowers to show my love for you. And then, oh, that's so sweet. I think I'm in love and I'm so happy. Really? Let's get one thing straight. You don't truly love someone in 36 hours. And if you think 750 roses means he is the one, think again. Let's fast forward. They're engaged. She is 4 months pregnant and now finds out that he is talking to someone else and calling their relationship fake. Why is everyone so surprised? The internet is shocked, betrayed, speechless. But honestly, I'm not. Because what did we expect when Wizard Liz and Landon Nickerson moved at the speed of light? Engagement in a flash. I love you in 36 hours, 750 flowers in a living room. That's not love. And that's a dopamine rush. And now, heartbreak. Sad. It's not really, it's not a laughing matter. Sad. It's truly sad. So let's get into it. Now, before we do, if this is your first time here, I'm Kingsley Grant, a licensed marriage and family therapist and certified relationship coach. I've been married for almost 40 years since July 1985. Do the math. So, for the past 20 years or so, I've helped many people, couples in relationships, especially marriage, to have longer lasting and more joyful marriages and relationships, right? And that's what qualifies me to speak to this issue with what happened to Wizard Liz and Landon Nickerson. So you saw the opening clip, right? As we show more clips in this video, I want you to watch their body language and let me know what you see as we unpack all of this. So let's watch this clip of when he said that he loved her and then how she rushed, I love you too, and then kept it moving. Watch real closely and see if you see what I see. Let's watch together.
I love
Yeah,
you.
so I love you too. So yeah, he really taught me that.
I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her.
Did you catch that? Did you see it? What's your thoughts? Would you agree with me that it seemed a little bit off? Not genuine? As rushed as it was, it's almost like let's get to the next thing and let's squeeze this in while we move to the next thing. Is that how you saw it? This is what I call the fast food version of love, the fast food version of love, right? It looks good, smells good, and gives you the butterflies, but it won't nourish your soul. It fades, right? Real love. Here's what I do know about that. It takes time, right? Would you agree? It's slow cooked. That's what I think of when I think of true love. Love at first sight, that one makes for a good movie, right? It makes for a good movie, but it makes for a miserable marriage, a miserable relationship. I've seen those kind of movies before, and I can tell you I've seen the miserable marriages that has come as a result of that. I love the scriptures, especially many times the writing of Solomon, the wisest man. He says in Proverbs 19, verse 2, desire without knowledge is not good. How much more will hasty feet miss the way? Get that? Catch it? How much more will hasty feet miss the way? And I can tell you that this verse is practically screaming about this relationship. If you could put it there, you would hear it screaming to this couple about this relationship. Now, here's what Wizard Liz, had to say in response to the flowers and feelings of being in love. Let's hear her own words as to what she said when those flowers got to her. Let's watch.
Landon had ordered me like 750 flowers. And I remember I was sitting there and I like kept looking at them during the day and I was like, oh my God, I think I'm actually like in love. Like this is the first time that I'm actually like feeling like, whoa, I'm excited for this.
I think I'm actually in love. And again, praise, I'm not making fun of, I'm not trying to in any way make light of this matter, but it just really strikes me sometimes someone as influential as this, someone who gives so many advice, and many of them are good advice because so many people have followed her and been influenced, impacted by her. So there's no question that what she does bring to the table is enough for people to feel connected with her and have actually said she's impacted their lives. So this is not just something of just another person. This is a person I'm talking about who knows and give advice. And she's saying, I think I'm actually in love when I look at the flowers in my apartment and begin to think about what he said to her. Really? Now, what I'm about to say and everything I will say in this video is not to shame her, right? This is a cautionary tale. What we are watching here is very sad. It's a cautionary tale. One of the things it's a cautionary tale about is to put your whole life on social media. That's never a wise thing to do. You don't live your life for the whole world to see. Some things are to be kept close to your breast, inside your house, behind closed doors, and that's it. You know, the Bible says about even God that the secret things of God belongs to him, and that which he wants to be revealed, he is made known. Imagine God who is perfect in every way, who could put anything and everything out there and never had to retract a statement. Anything he's done, never had to retract any of those. Even God does not. So imagine if God holds some things to his bosom, and it says the secret things of God belongs to God, and the things he wants to be revealed, he's made known. What much more about us? And so this one of the biggest cautionary tale is do not live your life on the internet. Do not live your life in the public at all times. I understand nowadays it's about clicks and likes and want to be this influencer and overnight, right? It's all about that. But there's something that we're going to see possibly plays out in this relationship. And mark my words, that might say to Wizard Liz, maybe I shouldn't have been putting everything out there as I have done. So she got the flowers. She felt happy for the first time, she said, for the first time in a while. Really? And that's beautiful. I want everyone to be happy. But happy is based on happenings. That doesn't last. It doesn't last. And is that what she's going to make her decision on? Which she did. But emotions are not enough to build a life on, right? This is where emotional intelligence comes in. And what that is, it just says, just because I feel love doesn't mean I am in love, right? It's two different things. It says just because someone does a grand gesture doesn't mean they have grand character. So, and you're going to see in this video that in this case of Landon, he didn't have good character because he made this grand gesture. But Wizard Liz is also complicit. She did not practice wisdom. She did not live up to someone who projects wisdom. And in her life, she acted very naive about this whole matter. If she had taken the time to get to know him more, then she would not have to depend on someone outside to tell her what kind of man he was. Here's what she posted about that and my comments about what she posted about having heard and thanking someone else for letting her know what kind of man this was. Are you serious, Wizard Liz? Are you serious that you're gonna depend on someone outside? That is what you do, yes, in your preliminaries and before you get so far into the relationship. These are things you find out and you do your due diligence and do your homework. But now you're going to say someone is letting you know what kind of man he was. So here's what she posted. And here's some of my comments about what she did post in on our YouTube channel. Thank you to Peyton for showing me early on what kind of man he is. Really? Peyton had to show you what kind of man he is? Really? Someone else outside, after spending all this time with him, being pregnant with a child, engaged with him, and Peyton had to be the one that showed you what kind of man he is? Oh, I guess Peyton ought to be truly thanked. I wonder what would happen if you had taken the time to get to know him. Then maybe you would not need Peyton to tell you what kind of man he was or he is. Now, after Wizard Liz and Landon had gone to London, it's so interesting that his name is Landon, Landon. They've gone to London, London, right? And after love letters and after writing a book about her, Landon made a secret Snapchat to meet up with another girl. And Wizard Liz only found out because the girl told a friend and sent the screenshots or the text messages or whatever they do in Snapchat, right? Whatever they do there. And that friend told her. So that is not just betrayal. That's premeditated deception. So here's what she wrote about finding out about the Snapchat account and some of my comments on that very thing. Let's watch. She says, and please don't send Landon hate. I still feel somehow responsible for his feelings, even though he was definitely not thinking about me or our child when deciding to make a Snapchat account yesterday. I'm so blindsided and shocked, I imagine. It's like a bad dream, and I wish I could wake up, but I can't because it's reality. She says, as you've heard, she still loves him. And I imagine that she still feels whatever she felt that is still there. And she probably does. But let's not confuse strong feelings with strong foundations. And let's not forget, she said, I feel like I don't know him at all. Of course not. If you don't know him at all, how can you say, I still love him? What do you love? You can't love what you don't know. That's your love. Of course not. Because you can't truly know someone in 36 hours. Now, I know that they have been together beyond 36 hours, but it's what it took for him to tell her and that he loves her. And then for her, it's 2 weeks, right? That she said. After 2 weeks, she said she was in love. Really? Now, as you can imagine, and I would imagine too, that those who have been impacted by her, who found this out, and they're in shock, right? They're just in disbelief. And her fans are heartbroken, which is understandable, crying, angry, shocked. But me, I've seen this movie before. I've seen it many, many times in the last 2 decades or more. I've seen this before. And what they're saying, I get it. I understand how shocked they are, but I understand if they do know the story, which they do because they saw her, she put everything out there. My question is, why are they so shocked? Why are you, if you're one of those, so surprised? So here are some things they are saying. And let me know if your thoughts about my comments about what they are saying. Hearing about what happened to Wizard Liz. And I can understand is her fan base. And if I was one of her fan base, maybe I would be surprised, but not necessarily the way that some of these people are acting as if she is this person who's perfect and never made a mistake. And even thinking that it could never happen to them. Why not? Why not? Imperfect people? People who are flawed? What makes you think this could never have happened to them? It happens to the best of us. None of us are exempt from these things from happening. But here's some of the reaction that some people chimed in, and these are just a fraction of some of what's been said. I mean, hundreds, as you can imagine, thousands of people poured in, and they should empathize and sympathize and praying for her, praying for them. They should. But just to hear some of the comments, I'm thinking, are you serious? Do you think that this would happen to them could never have happened because of who she is? Really? No way. And you're pregnant? I'm so sorry. And I so enjoy your content. You are strong, beautiful, and will make it through these tough times. Another, what? I feel like crying. OMG. This is so hurtful to read. I'm in tears. Oh my God. I'm so shocked. I've never thought this would happen. I'm so shocked. Another person. Just as yesterday night, I was watching your video with Landon, the spark in your eyes, but the strange sensation I was feeling about him that wasn't right. Like you said, your soul knew it since long ago. The universe gave you signs. Now you receive a clear message and respond with self-love and self-worth. This is such a celebration on a new moon, celebrating a new adventure. I said, don't celebrate too quickly, right? Don't celebrate because there's something that tells me that you might be celebrating a little bit too early, and maybe want to take back some of your words that you've said. Just a funny feeling that I'm having, been around this block for some time. And just saying, that's all, just saying. The way my stomach dropped when I read this. Liz, I'm so incredibly sorry. You looked genuinely happy with him, but you're so strong for dropping him blank like he deserves. Keep honoring yourself. That's a good comment at the end, right? Isn't it? Too many people confuse being in love with actually building love, right? They confuse being in love with actually building love, because love is an action. Love is action. It's work. It's something that you do. You work at it. Yes, the emotions can be there, but it's more the action than the emotions, right? So when the emotions are not there, you can still love. Some comments are already, as you heard, celebrating her healing journey, and I get it. They want her to be made well. They want to wish her the best, and I get it, right? And some say she'll bounce back fast. But as you heard my comment on that, but Proverbs 14, verse 10 says, or reminds us, each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can share its joy. No one else can share its joy. And so imagine that only Liz knows this, right? And healing is not a one size fits all. And love is not pain free when you skip the process. Wizard Liz and Landon, they skip the process. There are, when I teach about this whole thing of relationships and about acquaintance, then you get into friendship, and then you get into best friend, then you get into romantic relationship and partnership. There's a sequence. If you skip over any of those things, you're in trouble. And case in point is what happened here. If you don't take the time to know someone, and I guess this is a lesson well learned, and hopefully what we're seeing here is a cautionary tale, like I mentioned, but it's a lesson that can be learned. And because of her influence, hopefully this video will get back to her and she'll watch it and learn from it. And if you're a friend of hers, I would encourage you to have her watch it, right? And maybe she might reach out and want me to help her navigate this time of her life. But this is not the whole purpose. I'm just saying. So if you don't take the time to know someone, you'll need someone else to show you who they are, like in this case. That's what happened here. She didn't take the time to know him, and so she needs somebody else to say to her, this guy don't have the character that you thought he did have. And so she had to rely on, like I said, as she said, on Peyton to learn who Landon really was. Not experience. Well, she didn't have enough time. Not time, not trials, someone else. That's the consequence of moving too fast. That's the consequence of moving too fast. If a person shows you romance before they show you resilience, pause, like I'm pausing right now. If they show you romance before they show you resilience, pause. If they write books but can't write integrity into their lives, that's your sign. That's your sign. She even said she had this feeling and she went against that. I cautioned so many people and tell them many times, listen to that instinct, that gut brain that is telling you and informing you. Don't ignore it. It's there for a reason. Now, the question is, will she take him back? Even after his appeal, like you watch, even after his appeal, will she take him back? What's your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. And while you are at it, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, now would be a good time to do so and hit that like button as well. Now, she says adamantly, she won't. She says she won't, and this is enough. She is not going to take him back. But here's what I do know. Like I've said, I have a funny feeling about this, and maybe I could be stand corrected and wrong, and I'll come back and say I was wrong. I have a funny feeling about this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts, because love can be blind. And here's one of the things that he had to say, and let's see if this what he had to say. Since she made a comment that she won't take him back, let's see if what he had to say helped, will help her make her decision. Let's see if it will work to have her rethink their relationship. Let's watch this of what he had to say.
I don't expect you guys to understand, but I hope you take into consideration that you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong, and it's never going to happen again.
So what do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think about that? What he said, you know? Um, it's interesting. I'm not going to say anything more. Just let me hear your thoughts on that. What we do know is that she still loves him. She said that. She's asking people not to hate on him because that's not her intent. Those are, to me, code words. And I've heard them. I've told you, I've heard it many, many times. Those are things you listen for and then you look out for, because I believe inside that is embedded an uncertainty, what she really wants. I think she's uncertain what she really wants, and she's putting that out there. Don't hate on him. It's not my intent for you to do that. And she says, I still love him. And she's also carrying his child. Her stuff is still in his apartment. I don't know. I'm not sure as of this if it's still there, but that's what she said. Her cats are still with him. You just don't turn that off overnight. You know, I've seen this story. I've seen this movie before. And people say one thing in pain and do another in time, right? Have you ever seen that? They say one thing in pain, but they do another in time. So we'll see. But if she does, I hope it's not out of guilt or pressure, but clarity and conviction. I do hope that. I would also recommend that she get a copy of my book, my newest book, even though she was not married yet, but she was on her way, The Joyful Wife, which would help her know how to communicate more effectively with whoever she ends up with. 7 connection skills to better understand your husband, even though she's not married, like I said before, rekindle love and deepen intimacy. This is where I think she could have benefit her to be more effective in her communication and hopefully do things a bit differently next time. So, as you can tell, this is a video that is more for those who have not yet been married and are in the dating or courting stage of their relationship. So if you know someone who is there, maybe you want to share this with them so that they can hear this cautionary tale. So, but don't get fooled by flowers and fast feelings. That's one of my things I want to highlight again. Don't get fooled by flowers or any of those kind of things or fast feelings, right? Don't confuse a highlight reel with a holy covenant that you are planning to make when it comes to marriage, because it's still a covenant, it's a sacred thing, and it's something not to be entered into lightly. The fastest and most impactful way to build lasting and joyful marriages is to embrace the mind of Christ. That I say over and over again. If you are in that situation right now and you want to build lasting marriage and a joyful marriage, I strongly encourage you to embrace the mind of Christ. It is the fastest and most impactful way. And if you would like to know more about how to do that, I recommend you get on the wait list for my upcoming webinar so you can be notified when the next one will be. And it's called, if you want to get on the wait list, is go to Build Your Happier Marriage, buildyourhappiermarriage.com/waitlist, and get on there so you'll be notified when the next one is going to be. God's kind of love isn't rushed. It's rooted. It's rooted, right? So take your time, ask better questions, because the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. Watch actions, right? Watch actions. Take the time to get to know actions, not just hear words. Let Wizards Lid's story teach us all. Love doesn't live in speed. It grows in seasons, right? It grows in seasons. And so here's a question I have for you. What would your counsel be to either Wizard Liz or Landon Nickerson at this point? What would your counsel be? Let me know in the comment below what your counsel would be to either of them or both of them. I want to tell you thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And let me recommend you watch this video right here, right? Of a wife who cheated on her husband and is surprised he moved out. Yes, you heard that right. So watch this video, share this one with someone else, and watch also this one here. You watch and share with someone else as well. Okay. So with that said, I want to say thank you. May God bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May you know his peace and his love and his joy. And may you know true love by experiencing his love. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you subscribe.